What's going on, Dirty Bird Nation? This your boy. Hold on. Sorry about that. What's going on, Dirty Bird Nation? This your boy, Intergalactic Brew, and it's Monday. 24 hours after the heartbreaking loss to the New Orleans Saints. I guess you could call this the aftermath, or however you want to put it. But I was just watching a fellow Falcons fan, FalconsZone6, who used to be XYZ Dragon. I like that mindset you have, man. I love the the inspiration and the positive outlook that you have on this. It obviously shows that you are a very mentally strong person, much like myself, and much like the other faithful Falcons fans here on YouTube. I know everybody's kind of still hungover and burnt out from last night's game and everything, but just to reiterate what FalconsZone6 said, man, we gotta keep our heads high, and we gotta focus on the bigger reward here. Last night was last night. We let it slip through our hands. We were still in there, so that's something that we can always take from the game. Is New Orleans didn't dominate us at all. It wasn't a blowout game, like I said last night. Now, if it would have been that would have pissed me off. That would have made me mad. I would have been so angry if we would have got blown out by those guys. But you know what? Look at it from this point of view, Falcons fans, and this is only for the Dirty Bird Nation I'm talking to. But look at it from this side. Would you rather get blown out, let's say 45-10 by the New Orleans Saints, or would you have a tough, competitive, razor sharp game, 23-26, decided by 3 points, and go back and take it with you and just be like, well, at least my team fought to get back in the game? I mean, granted, New Orleans, like I said, they got us again. They were the better team yesterday. But, we have to not linger on this. We still have to believe in our team. I know it's disappointing, but like my boy just said, man, we still can fix this. Tennessee and Minnesota are very winnable games, although we cannot underestimate neither team. We know that is the cardinal sin in the NFL. You cannot underestimate any team because every team can play, despite what their record is. So, like my boy FalconsZone6 said, there's still room to fix this. Like I said last night, all we need to do is just take care of the small stuff. We just need to find a way where we can't get lured into penalties. We got to find a way where we can't get lured into being drawn off sides. And we just have to have make better decisions and have to have better play calling at the end of the game. Now, certainly, I do think Mike Mularkey needs a good talking to. Somebody really needs to give Mike Mularkey a good piece of their mind, whether it be Thomas Dimitroff, whether it be Arthur Blank, or whether it be Mike Smith himself. But Mike Mularkey needs to have a good scolding this week, because that was just a plain dumbass move that he made on Sunday. And I am not afraid to say that, because he offensive coordinates my team, and I feel like as a fan of the Atlanta Falcons, I have every right to constructively criticize Mike Mularkey all I want. But no matter how much I talk about this, it's not going to change anything. Like Falcon Zone 6 said, man, we just need to basically treat this like water under the bridge, and we need to keep pressing on to the next couple of games. Because, like you said, man, anything can happen. Now, I don't know who New Orleans has the next two games, but from what he was saying, apparently it seems like they're tough games. And we don't know whether it's on the road or whether it's at home. Now, we know, Falcons fans, we know our next two games are at home, thankfully. So we can still make this right and become 7-4 within 2 weeks, like FalconsZone6 said. Okay? So, don't let, tough losses affect you to the point where you just think like we're running out of time. We're not running out of time. It's not even December yet. We got a few more weeks to go in November. And we could still go on a big run. I mean, sure, it may not have been the record that we wanted it to be, but we could still go on a big run. So that's the part that we have to concern ourselves with right now. We'll worry about New Orleans later on in December, but right now we got to worry about two teams that are capable of coming in here and beating us, but at the same time I know we can beat, and that's Minnesota and Tennessee. And then of course Houston after that. But yeah, man. So like I said, let's go ahead and put a band-aid on this wound. Let's get our minds prepared for this coming Sunday against Tennessee. It's a later game as well. It's a 4 o'clock game, so this will give us all the time to prepare and get focused for Tennessee. So all the true Falcons fans out there, if you're down and out, okay, have your little moment to mope, but after that, man, get your asses up and let's continue to look at the bigger picture here, okay? Because it's not over by any means. So Falcons fan, FalconsZone6, I'm sorry. Thank you for giving that inspiration. Thank you. So it's about time somebody else feels like me. I'm not saying the other Falcons fans don't feel like me, but you've got these bandwagon jumpers and these false Falcons fans out there that are thinking that the sky is about to fall to the ground because of this one particular loss. But I thank you, FalconsZone6, for providing the uplift for the rest of the Dirty Bird Nation. Because, it's got to be somebody else other than, the other true devoted Falcons fans on YouTube that need to do this. I mean, we can't do this individually. It's going to take a collective effort, and I'm glad you and Sports Live and the ATL have stepped up and provided inspiration for our fan base. Because that's what the last thing we need is to be doubtful right now. The last thing we need to do is be doubtful. So, all my true Falcons fans out there, let's keep our heads up and let's get ready for what's going to happen later on down the line, particularly starting this Sunday. So let's get excited. Let's not get weary in this whole situation, because like I said, anything can happen within the next couple of weeks to a month. Anything can happen. It's not guaranteed that the New Orleans Saints are going to win the NFC South, because if it was, they would have done it already. But it's not. The NFL is not full of guarantees. The NFL, if anything, is guaranteed of surprises and disappointments. So I agree with you, FalconsZone6. I mean, this division is still wide open. It's still wide open. Because like I said, the Saints could drop the next 2 games. They could drop 1 game. And really, to look on a bigger bright side of things, if you really want some inspiration, Dirty Bird Nation, let's look at it this way. The pressure now is on the New Orleans Saints. Because now, since they're supposedly a couple of steps closer to supposedly winning the NFC South, the pressure is on them. They can't afford to lose any more games. Of course, we can't either, but since they're sitting at the top of the division right now, they can't afford to drop any more games, whether it be at home or whether it be on the road. So think about it like that. The pressure is on them. I'm not saying we couldn't have handled that pressure if we were at the top of the division right now, because I believe we could. But just look at it like that, Dirty Bird Nation. They have so much pressure on them right now. They have to literally win the next 2 or 3 games in order to keep their position. As opposed to us, you know, we can steadily move, you know, at our own pace as we want to. Because if we can get these next 3 games, we're fine. We're in a great spot. But them, they've got a lot to deal with right now. Because they can't lose 2 more. They can't lose no more games pretty much. Because if they lose their next 2, then you know that'll what they're, I don't even know what they are right now. What they're 6-7-3 or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, if they lose their next 2 games, they could be like 7-5, 7-6. And if we're like 8-4 or 9-4, hey, there you go. You know, we're you know, that's half the battle defeated right there. I mean, it'll be even sweeter if we can go down to New Orleans and beat them and seal the deal, you know, completely. But if the Saints drop their next 2 games and we win our next 3, the half the battle is already won. So just look at it that way. But the bottom line is, to all my true Falcons fans out there in the Dirty Bird Nation, whatever you do, do not get down on yourself. Okay? Don't let this loss affect the rest of your week and affect the rest of the things that you have to do. Because after all, this is football. I know we want to see our team win. I know we care a lot about our team. And I know we're very passionate about our team. Okay? But that's the beautiful thing about sports. And I always have this mindset. And I always have this philosophy whenever it comes to sports. There is always a second chance. Okay? There is always a tomorrow. There is always a time to redeem yourself. And I believe we can redeem ourselves. That's the beautiful thing about sports. There's always a chance for you to come back and, you know, erase whatever bad game or bad performance you had. That's the beautiful thing about sports. So think of it that way. Please. I'm asking everybody who's a true Falcons fan to a man, please know that this season is not over. Please know. It's just, you know, some things that we're going to have to get fixed. I mean, that's all we can do. You know, we just can't go out and just fire people left and right. That won't resolve anything. We just have to keep finding ways to make this stuff right. And when we finally do make this right, which I'm praying and hoping will be sooner than later, we'll be okay. And all of this will be forgotten. So again, FalconsZone6, thank you so much for the uplift and the inspiration. And just know that the reason why I'm making this video is because of you, man. Because, you know, you really lifted my spirits even higher than they were already lifted. And I just had to make this video and just had to compliment you on that. So thank you, man, for that. keep that passion, keep that inspiration going, and I see nothing but good things happening for us these last couple of months leading into January for the Atlanta Falcons. So that's all I wanted to say. Um, so yeah, it ain't over, Falcons fans. It is definitely not over. Believe that. DBN, baby. Deuces.